Hey guys, welcome to this first drive review of the updated 2020 Nissan Titan. It's not an all-new truck, but it's a major update. It has new styling, brand new transmission, and brand new technology on the inside. And in this video, I'll give you a first drive taste on the fuel economy for this new truck. I'll show you how it tows. I'll give you the towing and payload numbers, which are brand new, just released. And of course, I'm gonna take it off-road, this new Pro 4X crew cab. All of that is coming up right now. All right, let's get the styling changes out of the way before we get going. As you can see here on this 2020 Pro 4X off-road edition of the truck, got a brand new headlight design and also a unique grille. What Nissan is doing is actually introducing new grills for several of its trim levels. The Pro 4X grille gets a blacked out look. You also get a unique Pro 4X badge here and unique mesh. And of course, the cherry on top is a lava red Nissan badge. And Nissan says the headlights not only are redesigned for style, but they also can put out more light and better coverage of light. Alright, so this is my first opportunity to drive the new Pro 4X for 2020, the Titan, and we're on a dirt trail above Park City, Utah. Right now I'm in 4-low, even though I don't have to be. I just want to see how the transmission plays with the low range, because now we have more gears. There's a new skid plate actually, with a Pro 4X stamped on it. There it is, Pro 4X stamped into front skid plate. Of course, this truck also has several more skid plates. Not all of them are metal. For example, this front one is metal. Then following up by the transmission, that's a composite. Then later on, it's another metal skid plate and another skid plate for the transfer case, and the fuel tank skid plate is another composite. Of course, rear differential lock still there. Bilstein shocks are still there. Back here you can see the Bilstein shocks. And Nissan changed the rear differential ratio to 369. And that's because there's a new 9-speed automatic transmission that's made it to the 5.6 liter V8 gas engine. And the Titan Pro 4X has always been kind of the mountain goat truck. It just kind of wants to run. The bones of the truck remain the same. I'm talking about the frame, axle, suspension, etc. Here you can see the frame. The Pro 4X truck comes with Bilstein shocks still, like I did before, and General Grabber tires. These are approximately a 31-inch tall tire, and if you compare it to some other packages like the Ram Rebel or the Chevy Silverado Trail Bus, this tire is a little bit on the smaller side, but that doesn't stop the Titan from conquering a fairly tough trail. Nissan brought this modified truck that was also at SEMA 2019. Of course, it has a lot of modifications. Small lift, bigger tires, customized exhaust, bed rack, roof rack, extra lights. It's got a front bumper. Of course, customized wheels as well, customized shocks. Check it out, remote reservoir, Dirt King A-arms, customized skid plate, but it's still a 2020 truck with that lava red badge. What Nissan is doing here is they're simplifying their lineup for 2020. Under the hood, there's just one engine option. It's the 5.6 liter gas V8. And on premium octane fuel, the rating is 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. That's more than previously, but you don't have to use premium fuel. If you don't want to pay extra for the premium octane, you can still use regular gas. And on that fuel, the rating is still 390 horsepower and 394 pound-feet. But the big deal on this truck is the transmission, which is a new 9-speed, which is why I had to take it on the road, see how efficient it can be just on a small little loop on the highway in the city, and also how it tows. Here we go, getting on the highway in the 2020 Nissan Titan. This is the King Cab SV, and I'm gonna let you see the gauges, see how it does. This trailer weighs about 6,000 pounds according to Nissan, so there's probably about 600 pounds on the tongue. And the suspension did squat, but there's still plenty of suspension left. And the truck is handling it pretty good for this particular weight. I'm in tow haul mode. When you turn on tow haul mode, it's supposed to also enable grade shifting. Of course, trailer sway control system is also there. This is a two-wheel drive truck, and King Cab, when you configure it this way, that's when you get the maximum towing capability from the new Titan. And the towing rating is almost the same as before. They increased it slightly by about 130 pounds to 9,370 pounds total towing capacity. And the payload is just under 1,700 pounds, also up slightly from the previous truck. This video is not about the Titan XD, but here it is just for comparison. This is the updated 2020 XD truck, and there are a couple of clues that tell you that this is actually a heavier duty truck rather than a standard Titan for 2020. Of course, the hood is a little bit longer. There's that new badge. This truck is longer. It's available as a crew cab with a longer 6.5-foot bed. The regular Titan does not come in this configuration. And also the XD truck is taller, and that's primarily because of its bigger frame. Nissan says the XD can tow about 1,650 pounds more than a regular Titan, and it can haul about 800 pounds more as far as payload. Case in point, this XD is hooked up to a big gooseneck trailer, and it's loaded with hay. And most trim levels of the Titan XD for 2020 will come with a standard gooseneck prep package. The XD also comes with updated headlights, grille, bumper treatment. But another clue that this is an XD, the front tow hooks are actually below the bumper, not inside the bumper. Once again, that's because the XD is way taller. Under the hood though, it's the same engine. It's a 5.6 liter V8 gas engine. We're near Park City, Utah. This is pretty high elevation. There's less oxygen here, so the engine is trying to make all the power it can with less oxygen. Here you can see the engine is kind of going through a lot of its gears, and the gear shifts are pretty smooth. Great towing mirrors, about the same mirrors that they've been on this Titan. And if it works, why change it? Of course, this is just a taste of the towing capability of the new Titan. We'll be testing it in Colorado on the iGauntlet, of course our MPG loop. Here it is, the truck slowing down, doing some downshifting to help me slow down. And also have a transmission temperature gauge, which is nice to see. For 2020, the new Titan comes as a crew cab, or also a King Cab, which is the extended cab version. There is no more two-door long bed option. And two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive are still available. Of course, this crew cab only comes with a 5.5-foot bed, but Nissan continues to offer a lot of bed utility. Take a look. Bed liner, of course, rail system for tie downs, not just on top of the bed, but also in the floor of the bed, as you can see here. Composite cover for the tailgate, and a new applique on the rear. The taillights have also been redesigned, and down here there is a step The tailgate is dampened. There it is. Nissan says they invested about $230 million into the development of the new 2020 Titan and the Titan XD. And they did a lot of small things that you cannot readily see. For example, up here in the windshield, you can see the camera, because every new Titan comes with Nissan Shield 360. It has adaptive cruise control. There's also a radar system hidden behind here. The 360-degree camera is still there. There's a front camera underneath the badge in the grille. The truck on the inside is supposed to be a little bit quieter too. Aerodynamics is slightly updated. There are a couple of little elements like these vortex generators on the mirror and a couple of little aerodynamic devices here near the taillight. As an off-road truck, the Titan Pro 4X has the necessary grip and the capability to tackle most trails that kind of a weekend warrior would want. Obviously, you know, it's not a Jeep Rubicon, but it's still very capable. The tires have grip, there's a lot of traction, there's a rear locker, skid plates for protection if you do get hung up a little bit. And the size is mostly manageable. It's not as big as some other trucks in the segment. So what Nissan did is actually they updated the interior, made it a little bit nicer, and added technology. And you could see it on a high resolution screen in the center gauge cluster and here in the center stack as well. Here's a slightly updated center console. First of all, of course, it opens up this way. There is this tray that you can remove or change its position. Up here there are removable cup holders. This new cell phone holder can actually hold a small tablet, maybe 2 phones. Heated front seats. There's low and high setting. And this is of course your 4-wheel drive selector. It's basically the same as before, including 4 low, 4 high, and 2-wheel drive. Pricing, that's not available yet. We have to wait a little bit longer until we get the pricing information. And finally, you're probably wondering about the EPA ratings, fuel economy. How does a new 9-speed compare against competition? EPA numbers are not ready yet. Nissan is still working with them on that. But you could still see what I got on my city and highway mixed loop. 27 miles, about 47 minutes, and 17.1 mpg. According to the trip meter. I think that's not too bad for the new 9-speed automatic transmission that's matched up to this V8. On the drive here, I noticed a couple of other things. First, the 9-speed automatic is pretty smooth. The new adaptive cruise control system was also pretty smooth. It could maintain the distance between me and the vehicle ahead of me. And there are 3 different distance settings, and I played around with it. And it seemed to be smooth, no jerky motion with braking or acceleration. Also, this truck does not have the auto start-stop feature. The screen is larger for 2020. This is an optional 9-inch screen. The screen itself is higher resolution, but the camera view is not super high resolution. And it also points out if there's somebody walking around the truck, it points that out as well. Once again, this has been a first drive opportunity with the 2020 Titan, and I'm impressed with the upgrades that they've made to the truck. It's a little bit quieter on the highway, the transmission is a little bit smoother, but in order to test it properly, we still have to get it to the iGauntlet on our world's toughest towing test, of course on our Colorado off-road trails as well, to see exactly how it performs, also on our MPG loop. And guys, go back to TFLtruck.com for more news, views, and real-world truck reviews.